So yes, the Simpsons map is set to be shell shaded, apparently according to leaker not Parlo. Are we happy about that, chat? Literally, I can hear people screaming at the discovery that the whole map could be shell shaded. Essentially, see, I don't think, was Borderlands even shell shaded? Would that be counted? I mean, yeah, it's slightly drawn in the style, and that it's meant to be like Borderlands. The thick black lines around sort of like buildings and trees. And that's kind of Borderlands, isn't it? That's literally his Borderlands. Yeah, we haven't seen this in game, I don't think, since season X. Doesn't actually look that bad here. Not mentioning the Simpsons season, but I remember at the time people did not like this. And looking back, I think that might have been a bit of an overkill, a slight over-exaggeration there. It's not too bad, is it? I might have been one of those guys, if I'm being honest, but yeah, it's not actually too bad. But yes, of course, it will be very different given the Simpsons theme. Of course, this is essentially the Simpsons style. It's not actually, I guess, would be shell-shaded. The Simpsons isn't shell-shaded. Okay, future Jamie here, because I feel like I was slightly getting confused between what I was arguing or what we were talking about, which is the map and not necessarily Fortnite characters who are animated or cartoons that may need shell shading to appear like 3D. But in my head, is that necessary? Or buildings, walls, doors, floors, and grass, and something you can perceive to be 3D? Because Fortnite still appears to be a 3D space. Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit more complicated than that. But I feel like they could just lose the colours with a slight bit of Simpson stylization, but would that also be shell shading? I don't know. Probably, yeah. I guess they just make it in a Fortnite style and still try and keep it a Fortnite/Simpson style. A little bit of a blend rather than fully having to go shell shading. I don't know. Obviously, I presume they've seen that. I presume they said, "Oh, can we do it where we keep it a bit more Fortnite style?" Probably didn't work. Probably doesn't look right. So that's why we're maybe getting a shell shaded season next season. Matt Shadow, how's it going? Apparently it is a Simpsons map. Yes, so yeah, we will be having a full Simpsons map, whether that be a full BR map or a full reload map. Because they didn't re-specify on the leaks yesterday. They just said a full Simpsons map, which I presume is a full BR map, 400 players. So maybe the reload map has been a squash. But, we wait and see. So I would also wait and see if this is actually shell shaded and not one of the leakers. I guess it's in the files. I would presume they're looking at some files that said shell-shaded props or something. Otherwise, it could just be a POI that is very Simpsons stylized, which you would imagine. POV, the event is happening, and the Dark Presence says, "This island shall be flipped." And he flips the island, and Springfield is on the other side, and the Dark Presence sings a Simpsons intro. I actually think the Dark Presence would make sense if the Dark Presence actually turns out to be the Nothing. We have communicated with the Nothing through TVs before, and we actually go through a TV to go to this sort of twisted fantasy, the Dark Presence's twisted fantasy being played out in front of us by using the Springfield map and name. That's what I was saying the other day. You know the teaser, what was the grotto called in Remix? Spaghetti Grotto. So essentially we had this, a mural in Spaghetti Grotto, which had Hope, an ice cream, Sloan, music, mics, obviously sort of playing on the whole remix thing, essentially, I guess. But we did have this TV, which actually now looking at it, does actually look very much like the Simpsons TV. But there is a crack on it, which obviously we have seen that other TV for the majority of the chapter as well, the one with the eye. So originally I think this was in Vibin season, but it came up again during Remix, which I think is a teaser for the Nothing, because obviously it's correlating sense, and obviously it's associated with the TV. I really hope we get all of Springfield as the map and not just random locations like the Squid Games map. I think the map will be slightly bigger than the Reload map to fit at least 75 players. That seems random. Why would Fortnite just randomly... I mean, they could do it. I'm not, not against it, but I just feel like it'd be really random to go to 75 players and not just try and build a big map. Oh my god, the ship's right over the TV as well, which will make people think they're Nothing, but that could easily be The Simpsons, since the first teaser we got was literally of the aliens from The Simpsons. So again, back to the original topic of conversation about the Simpsons season being the whole POIs, the whole map, the grass, the textures, all apparently being shell shaded. I can instantly feel most of the community breathing down my neck saying, we're not going to enjoy this season because of the shell shading. I hope this doesn't immediately put me off, but I am a little bit more concerned. It's funny everyone's been using this as the Simpsons season, since this is actually where Family Guy comes into the Simpsons. You can see Peter Griffin, Lois, Chris, Meg, and Brian. We can't really see Stewie, but down here, because everyone's been using that as the image, because it's a good image of Springfield, to be fair, which I don't really do a lot, and obviously they would probably only do it for episodes like that. It's going to look like Springfield because it is a Simpsons season. So is this really a shock? Shell shaded means to make something look 3D like 2D, so it makes sense to them to call it shell shaded. You think they censor a lot of things, like not add Bart's School, Moe's Tavern, and other places? They literally have the grabber in Fortnite. If they're gonna sort of go, oh, we better not have Moe's Tavern because that's where you drink, would be crazy. I don't know how you can like say, oh yeah, let's have Jason, who's literally called the slasher, the grabber. More, should I say more? And then go, oh, alcohol and pubs. Hold your horses. Let's not be doing that. I think it's a bit stupid. There's been alcohol in Fortnite. Has there been alcohol in Fortnite? I'm talking about gameplay mechanics, because if we're talking Simpsons, the first thing I would put into a game is like a Doff beer healing consumable item. But that is actual beer being consumption. I thought that's what you're saying is the problem. Just having a random bit of props on the floor and that looks like beer is very different. I know Fortnite has obviously had maybe Flowberry Fizz, which is literally meant to be wine, essentially, because it was grown in a vineyard in Chapter 5. Like, we saw that vineyard. It's not actually called alcohol, but it's Flowberry Fizz. And this is a team-rated game. Let's be let's be real. It's a team-rated game. We literally have Jason. We literally have what's the character from Scary Movie? We literally got that guy in. We got the grabber. Literally, I think we passed. If they don't do that now, Springfield Elementary might be a whole different thing and a whole different ball game. Not Moe's Tavern. Gee, yeah, but the actual act of consuming said thing as an item in Fortnite, that's what I'm talking about. Beer bottles and some prop galleries, yeah, but the actual item being a alcohol is what I'm talking about here. I don't really care about actual items that may look like beer, which is not beer because it's not actually an actual holdable item, or it's just a prop. Oh no, that's literally what I said. Springfield Elementary might be a bit of a push. Oh no, that shouldn't be an issue because of all the roleplay games they have on Fortnite, and that has actually been brought up several times before. But because I've seen clips, but we're gonna have to wait and see. We know we're getting the nuclear plant. That's the only POI we know for sure we're getting, apparently, according to leakers. Like Doff Man would be a good one, or do you call him Slurp Man? I almost said something else there. I feel like we've gone off the topic of actual shell shaded. I mean, it's not really a big conversation until we see it in game and see how it plays, see how it feels, see how it acts. A very different thing with Pandora would be you can sort of look at the ground and sort of have a foundation of Fortnite, even though you can see obviously in a stylized, more thicker drawn lines to represent the shell shading or whatever it may be. If we have a whole complete change and it's like Simpsons, more grass, more of an art style. Like, you look at this is not shell shaded at all. This is like drawn grass, essentially. This is pen art. I mean, Simpsons is pen art. I only think the movie may have went off. I think the movie may have been like a different art style or done differently. Because obviously Simpsons have loads of stylistic changes over the years, but it's still, I think, done by drawing. I think the movie may have been slightly different. So yeah, we could still have normal Fortnite grass with normal Fortnite mountains with a same stylistic approach like this. But obviously, if you're going to have Simpsons walls, galleries, props, and then grass on top of that, roads as well, then that might be a little bit too much. But until we see it in game, who knows? Our YouTube video viewers, I don't know. Not just because I'm yapping and talk about it, I might get to the editing process and think, oh, yikes. Which I'm kind of thinking in my head at the moment, but who knows? Isn't slurp juice beer? That's my point. is it beer? It could well be beer. Same with Flow Berry Fizz. That obviously was grown in a vineyard. It is obviously a wine. Very clearly, it is not stated as being a wine, though. So it doesn't matter. I'm just like, I mean, we're literally running around with a knife at the moment. So we're being stupid here, chat. Like, if they go, oh well, alcohol's off the table, when we've got freaking the guy from I can't remember his name, running around with, which I would argue is a more dodgy area. Definitely, again, I hate to say it, the grabber. Yeah, Flowberry Fizz is in a bottle. You shake it and it explodes like champagne. Yeah, but it's not champagne. I'm saying if they add something like Duff Beer or actually have a pub and it's actually then, oh, we can roleplay going into a pub and getting a Duff Beer, and it's a very different argument to have rather than saying something that maybe, you know what I mean? Anyway, Slurp is meant to be hot anyway. We're not. Oh no, we're not getting into this argument again. So I think Slurp in the glass is meant to be warm. That's why it bubbles up. That's what the Metal Cuddle team leader said. It's best served hot. And beer hots. Yeah, so they call it Slurp. So you can't call it Slurp beer because it'd be beer still. But yeah, Duff Slurp maybe might get away with it. Jay, I'll link the video in Discord. Someone made a Simpsons reload map. Oh, are you talking about... Oh, what's his name?
Fortnite has had thousands of different locations, but there's still a few that are missing. So today, I'm going to be creating an entire Battle Royale map with your ideas as the location.
Okay, so this is a Simpsons season. So, or this is his interpretation. So he's used the shell shading that's probably been in the game before. See, there's a difference with Peter Griffin, who is shell shaded, and this. No? I don't know.
Hasn't. I really like how it opens.
We need GTA 5 in Fortnite? Or GTA 6, essentially. But anyway, guys, let me know down in the comments what you think about the Simpsons map maybe being shell shading, even though we went off topic several times. Yeah, make of that what you will. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and until next time, it has been your boy, Mr. Joe White. Till next time, bye-bye.